Your first comic, super excited he's here. He's doing a little drop-in spot. Ladies and gentlemen, you may have heard him on Sirius XM. Give it up for Krantz, everybody!
Keep it going for Jake. Let him hear it. The first thing you guys need to know about me right off the bat is I have the most beautiful 4-year-old girl on the planet at home. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Yeah, her parents must be worried sick. I don't know. I don't read the news. No, I'm kidding. You're looking at me like a pedophilia joke's tough to start post-pandemic comedy with. But I've been, hunkered away for 6 months writing this shit. I've been worried that, no, of course, I'm pretty sure she's mine. And, but I'm worried because this, COVID, she's taken a turn for the dark with all this time off. I didn't know what to do with her at the beginning of quarantine. We lived down at the beach. I just put her in the truck and we would just go drive every day. We would just drive aimlessly because nothing was open. And after a few weeks of it, she has a toy cell phone that she keeps in my car. She likes to make her calls from the road. And one day I'm at a red light and I hear the phone ring and she answers it in that adorable little 4-year-old girl helium balloon voice. She's like, and this is 100% true story. She says, "Hello?" And she says, "What? Your sister's dead? Your brother's dead? Your mommy and daddy are dead? Your baby's dead?" And then this is the best part. She says, "Again?" Like that shit keeps happening. And then she got annoyed. She was like, "All right, well, I gotta go." And she hung up. And I'm just, white-knuckled on the steering wheel, trying not to show her how terrified I am. And I was like, "Hey, honey, not for nothing. Who was that?" She was like, "Oh, that was Angela." I was like, "Who's Angela?" She's like, "Angela's my pretend friend." I was like, "Well, Angela is killing her families, right? Like, I'm worried about these pretend people that you hang out with. Like, what's that old saying? Murder my whole family once and get away with it, shame on you. Murder my whole family twice and get away with it. I probably fucking did it." They say that they're not sure. They say COVID either started, it was either a guy ate a bat or it was created in a lab. I prefer to believe a dude ate a bat just because that's way more hilarious. And then you think about the butterfly effect. Like a dude in China ate a bat and now you can't get puzzles on Amazon. When you try and wrap your mind around that, it's... And the thing is, if this dude did eat a bat in China, I think America's partially to blame. I'm not gonna lie. It probably never even would have occurred to him to eat a bat if we didn't make them feel so shitty for eating dogs. And I'm saying that with no judgment. That's just... I went out to dinner once, I ordered the veal. Everybody at table started yelling at me. They're like, "You can't... The veal? Don't you know what they do to those calves? You're crazy. They torture them. You can't order the veal. What are you, a monster?" I was like, "Holy shit, I didn't know. I'll get the duck." Hey, do you think the WNBA players ever look out at the virtual fans and think, "This is a pretty nice turnout tonight"? We're starting to get back to normal, right? Because we're getting outraged about shit again. There was cancel culture disappeared for a few months, but now everybody's mad again. Bands have to change their names. Bands that have been around for 20. The Dixie Chicks were like, "Oh, we're just the Chicks now." Lady Antebellum was like, "We're Lady A." And then you're like, "Well, what's the A stand for?" And they were like, Antebellum. We're mad at statues. People are like, can you believe Trump sticks up for statues? I'm like, can you believe Trump married a statue? Like, yeah. I find it super... We get mad at the Christopher Columbus statue. They're always trying to drag Christopher Columbus down. They're like, Christopher Columbus was a murderer and a rapist and shouldn't be celebrated. It's like, okay, glasses half empty people. Maybe he was a murderer and a rapist, but let's look at some of the good things he did. I don't care what you say about him. Christopher Columbus was the first and only Italian dude in history to leave home. So, celebrate some of the wins where we can get them. That's all I'm saying. He did it in the most Italian way possible, too. Like, he may as well have set sail from Staten Island. He showed up here, was like, fucking check out India. And they were like, oh no, sir, I think you got turned around in the water somewhere. He was like, shut the fuck up, Indians. And they were like, I think we're Indians now. For hundreds of years. He was like, go back to your 7-Eleven. They're like, that hasn't even been invented yet. How racist is this dude? We're not on the same page, right? We're not. Black people are like, hey, please stop killing us. And white people were like, fine, we'll change the name of the syrup lady. Like, it's different things. That's a different conversation. You know what they should have done if you really wanted to see everyone's heads explode? They should have announced that Aunt Jemima was transitioning into Uncle Jemima. That would have been great. I'll leave you with this. This set had it all, right? Like, it was a roller coaster. Like, we laughed, we cried, had its ups and downs. It's fucking comedy in the HOV lane. I'll leave, like, listen, like everybody else, COVID got me thinking about my own mortality, and I pulled my wife aside and I was like, you know what? I've been thinking about it. I made a decision and I've decided I want to be cremated. If anything happens to me, I want to be cremated. And she's into the environment. She was like, I think that's a great, I don't give a shit about the planet. You know, I'm claustrophobic. I'm like, you could throw me in there with turtles and straws. I don't care. But she said to me, like, hey, I'll make you a deal. If you die before me, I'll have you cremated and I'll spread your ashes somewhere you really love. And it touched me because I made a request and she heard me. So it really touched me. The problem I'm having is I don't know how to ask her to sprinkle my ashes on my ex-girlfriend's tits. It's a tough conversation to have. So I just put it in the will, and I'll let them both find out on the same day. Guys, thank you so much. My name's Ken Krantz. Enjoy Bonnie McFarlane.